This is my video journal. It's not intended to be advice or guidance. I'm just expressing what I'm thinking and feeling in the present moment. And at the moment, I'm doing the next big step of what I'm here to do. The intent of my brand, and I guess you could say my whole life, is to inspire and empower as many people as possible to make their own impact on the world. And I feel like the first few steps are in place. I help people heal themselves and understand themselves and get really comfortable with being uncomfortable and all that good foundational work. And now we're looking at, okay, so once you're solid and you want to create a business or share an idea with the world, how do you do that? And it's the natural next step for me, because I've been learning how to do that myself to do this. So I'm adding to the website a whole new section where it's going to be all about building a brand and making an income from your ideas and what you really want to contribute to the world. So I'm seeing this progression of helping people get really solid in themselves, and then once they're solid in themselves, they can go on to contribute to the world in their own way. And I'm getting really excited about it. At the moment, I've just been sort of consolidating all of the insights that I've had over the last 10 years of marketing brands, because I've marketed a lot more brands than just the stuff that you see on my YouTube channels and Instagram and stuff. Before I made my own content, all I did was market brands and make other people's content. And there's probably a lot of stuff that different people have seen that I was either behind a camera for that, or I was involved in the marketing side of things. So that's actually my background, which is always interesting to bring to the surface of people's awareness. And that was one of the big things for me when I decided I wanted to help people heal themselves, and I decided that I cared about mental health. I was like, what if I used all of my marketing knowledge and my video knowledge to bring more awareness to stuff that needs more awareness? And when I first started, it felt like I was swimming upstream, because there are so many campaigns that are it at face value, it says that they're there to raise awareness about mental health, but they're actually there to raise awareness about mental ill health. And they're there to make people, all the stuff that is being spread around the internet is actually detrimental to growing and healing yourself. So yeah, it was really interesting to enter that, because a lot of people care, but not a lot of people understand. So that's actually when all of this started to come together, and I came up with the intent, inspire and empower as many people as possible to make their own impact on the world. Because you don't just want a bunch of people who care a lot about the issues, and they're reacting to the issues, and they're just really emotionally invested in it, and they're actually not providing solutions. You've really got to strip all those layers back and help people heal themselves first, and stop reacting to everything, and actually come up with some new solutions to the problems that they're seeing, and then go on and implement that stuff. So as I started to imagine an army of people who were in alignment with themselves and doing doing their bit, it's this idea I just want to get people started. I don't want to work for anyone. I don't want to be a video guy for a not-for-profit organization, which I've done before, and I don't want to be a marketing consultant for like a huge company that's just like doing the same thing day in, day out. I want to be the one that's planting seeds, and like I help you plant the seed and I help you get it started, and then I can just leave you to it. That's really like what I've been seeing for the whole time, but now I guess I'm getting to the part where I'm ready to take people through the whole process so that they actually get their seeds to grow and their seeds actually start to produce results themselves, and then they can actually go and help other people plant seeds. If like I didn't stretch that analogy too far. So yeah, I've been really excited, and there's been ideas coming through from all different directions, all different frames of mind, and it's tricky to like know what to focus on, but like I've got like a bit of a strategy, and I know myself well enough now that like I write down a big list of like all the stuff that's coming through, and then I just work on like the stuff on that comes through that seems like it's going to have the biggest impact and the best return on investment for my time. And even if the to-do list grows like so much faster than I'm ticking things off, but that's a good thing, because if I'm just doing the absolute best ideas on that list all the time and I never get to the bottom of it, like there's certain ideas that I have that I'll never ever do. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm making the most of everything that's emerging in my consciousness. And really trusting that process. And because one of the things that I used to waste a lot of energy on, and this is a really cool insight for people earlier on the journey, is like trying to hold all my ideas, like hang on to them, make sure that I didn't forget anything. And even writing them down can be a little bit like you're trying to hang on to them. If you write down 100 ideas and you feel like you have to do every single one of them, the amount of mental energy and like stress that you create when you think that you've got to do every single thing that emerges in your awareness is ridiculous. It's like, just let it all go and like go with the thing that feels really good, and the thing that feels the most fun, feels the most playful, feels the most easy, but like not just like it feels really good, but you also know that it's going to produce a result, because you'll get through a lot more of those things than you will of like a really big scary idea that terrifies you, that you think might be worth it, but like you don't even know where to begin, because you're going to spend like day after day looking at that big scary idea and not getting anything done, when you could have done like dozens of these little cool playful things that eventually add up to a big scary idea. And you like, that's a crazy thing that happens when you just play and like do the fun little things and like see where it leads you, and don't try to like know the whole journey before you even start it. Like you might find that if you do a couple of dozen little cool ideas, that it actually adds up to the big idea that you were scared of, and you've actually done it, and you didn't even realize that you were sort of working through all the little bits and pieces to create this thing. Because like something in you knows like what you need to do, but your brain and your ego like tries to create, like analyze it and make it into this like, I don't even know what to call that. Like it's like you're just trying to think your way through it. Whereas like if you just trust that inner guidance system that's like showing you what the next thing is, and you're just doing what feels right in the moment, like it's very surprising how it will lead you exactly where you need to be. Like I couldn't have done all this stuff if I set out like really analytical and like deliberate and tried to make a plan for how to get from where I started to here now. And that's like just the truth for everybody. Like nobody has like a blueprint or a perfect model. Like you can definitely invest in like courses and learning and different things that will help you have some kind of structure to the way that you create what you're imagining, but it's always going to be a surprise. Like you never know what's going to emerge when you start getting creative with your ideas. Even if like your stuff that you're doing is so like analytical and like you're using it's not very spiritual or creative. It's more like you've got to just use your brain. Like there's still an element of like just letting go of the trying to control everything that's really beneficial, and you just like trust that everything's going to add up to like the completed picture that you have inside of you. I'm really like, it gets easier and easier to trust that as well when you have more and more evidence behind you. Like you look back over your journey and you're like, I had no idea that how that was going to turn out. I had no idea that talking to that person would lead me to all of these realizations and understandings. Or even just like the little serendipitous things, the spontaneous possibilities that show up that you could never plan in a million years. Like you just meet the right person and it changes the trajectory of your entire life. Or like you never know when you're going to get discovered by somebody really interesting as well, and then you receive an email, or like somebody shares a video that you made that you didn't really even think was that profound, or like you didn't think it was that valuable, and then all of a sudden there's like a whole community that's really engaged with like that particular aspect of who you are and what you do. Like until the serendipity shows up, you're just kind of doing your thing and like just trusting that like it leads somewhere, and you have no idea where that is, and you just got to be in love with that, in love with uncertainty. You know, sometimes it sounds a bit crazy to people. The objections come up like, so I'm just like wandering around in the darkness. It's not like that. There, you have like a sense of where you need to go and what you need to do, and you can feel that, you can hear that inner voice that's like showing you exactly where you need to go. But like you also have all of your fears and traumas and insecurities, doubt, whatever it is that's also inside of you. So that can be louder than the guidance. Like you could be like have this amazing, really fun, playful idea that's going to change absolutely everything for you, and then like your fear just comes in and makes it too terrifying, and then you just don't do that thing, and then you know you can't like I can't turn onto the main road out here without doing like a right turn onto this other road. Like you've got to oh man, I fumbled that analogy, but like you can't get to your destination. You can't just turn, like, yeah, you can't reach your destination without doing a few things along the way. You can't just show up where you want to be without going down like Fear Avenue and Insecurity Street. Like you've got to go through your stuff to get to the place that you want to be. That's a better way to say it. And once you drive down Fear Avenue and Insecurity Street and you get to abundance land, like let's say, fear and insecurity is behind you and you're at your destination. And then you might realize you want to go to like an even deeper destination where more is available for you, and you might have to drive down a few more scary laneways full of your traumas and doubts and insecurities. But again, once you do that and you go through that, then you're going to be in this new, better place, and all of that stuff's going to be behind you on your journey, not in front of you. But yeah, there's definitely this big thing with like, you know exactly what you need to do, but you won't do it sometimes because you have all of these other voices inside your head that aren't your inner guidance. It's stuff that comes from your fear and doubt and insecurity, and it's not you. Like we say these parts of ourselves. I don't like to use that language anymore. It's like that's not parts of me. That's stuff that I'm going to let go of. The only things that are part of me are the positive things, like my spirit and that inner guidance system. That's me. This other stuff, this fear and doubt and anger or whatever the things are that are getting in the way, they're not parts of me. I'm letting that stuff go. It's just a whole different way of looking at it. And as I've let go of so many of those things, like I have been more and more me. Like, I don't know, you can definitely see through the journaling process, like there's like, it's like Kai is more Kai now. Like every month, every year, like I'm a little bit more me and a little bit less all of those other things that were living inside of me. You know what I mean? So yeah, next chapter, expanding, like leveling up into that next incarnation of what's possible for me, and just like sharing some thoughts and feelings along the way. So if you got anything out of this, please click the like button for me, leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the links in the description down below because it's all there to help, and it's really awesome. I'll see you again shortly.